What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dan's Reviews. Today, we have a rant video to talk about. Okay, so if you don't like rant videos, please, I don't think you want to watch this. This is a big rant. Also for the action figure collectors of The Walking Dead. I think you can tell just by what I'm holding here what I'm going to complain about. People that collect the McFarlane Toys figures, you know what I'm talking about. These stupid, I might add, color tops. Okay, they're not that bad. Anyway, this is my rant of these color top figures of The Walking Dead. Now these, okay, so I guess we might as well just talk about it a little bit, okay? I'm just going to grab a 5-inch figure of these ones so you can kind of check it out. Which one do I want to grab? I think I will probably grab one of the better ones out there. Yeah, let's check this one out. So, okay, so, we first started collecting the Walking Dead action figures at least they started getting released in 2011, and they came out with a comic book series line of figures, right? And they were really awesome. I didn't personally start collecting it until 2014. I know I'm a late person. Anyway, but yeah, they had a TV series line as well. The figures were killing it for years. Like a good 5 years, I would say. Yeah, somewhere around there. And then last year, okay, so last year came. They were like, okay, good. We've done 7 or 8 or 9 waves of figures. I think it was series 9. Yeah, they had a Beth figure in like these size. I have her right there. They had a Beth figure. They had a T-Dog. They had a couple other figures in the line, some Walker, and then like a really like disgusting waterlogged Walker. And people that collect the action figures, you know what I'm talking about. This is the Series 6 Rick Grimes from Season 3. I don't know if you guys recognize what season that's from, but that's pretty cool. Even if you don't collect the figures, that is a Rick Grimes mini toy, so it's pretty cool. Action figure, I like to call them. But they're really cool, and they look cool on the display. Like, I've already heard tons of people saying, dude, nice display with your figures, right? And I was like, yeah, they do look pretty cool in the background. Of course, I'm moving here soon, so I'll have to reset up the other place. But I don't mind doing that because these guys are awesome. I wish they released more of them. But then after Series 9 got released, they're like, okay, no more Walking Dead figures. No more Walking Dead 5-inch figures. So they changed scale. And they changed them to these, which are the color top figures. I'm like I was a little mad. I was like, well, we've collected 9 sets of action figures in the last like 4 or 5 years. We've gotten tons of them. You can see I have like tons of the releases. I bought so many of them, and then all of a sudden they stop it. They just cut it out. And then basically they come out with these. So I was very mad already. I was already like livid. I was like, oh, dude, why are you doing this? We spend so much money on these action figures, and you're just canceling them and turning them into this. But then I was like, okay, I'll take a look at them. Obviously they're action figures and everything. They're gonna probably be even cooler because they're 7 inches. But the only reason why I was upset at first is because they were. I bought so many of the other ones. It's ridiculous to start buying a totally different scale. But then I saw they were 7-inch figures, and I was like, well, I do like 7 inches. They take up more room, but I do like 7 inches. I don't mind them. So I was like, okay, I'll wait for them to come out. And I did. I bought the Michonne, the Rick, I could not find, and I still don't have him at this day. Canada is terrible for figures. My Toys R Us, they barely get any Walking Dead figures, and that's the problem. You try hunting for them in my area in Canada, it's terrible. You can't even get almost any Walking Dead figures. It's terrible around here. When I see one, I grab one because it's tough. It's tough to get some new ones. They always usually like sometimes this Michonne and the Travis as well have been sitting on the shelves for the longest time. Like ever since they came out, like it's ridiculous. They've been sitting there for like 6 or 7 months or something. But Anyway, so I got the Michonne, and I was like, pretty cool. I even saw pictures of them, and I saw that they like had only cuts, like a couple different cuts, and I was like, are these like statues? Like, are they really changing that? So then I was like super mad, but then I kind of chilled out a bit because I heard that McFarlane said that there will be articulation. So I was like, okay, maybe they just didn't get the chance to actually 100% finish the figure, so I was a little bit more chilled out. So now I was just waiting for them to come out, and then they finally hit, and then this is what we get, right? So I don't know if you can see that good. There is the Michonne. You only have a cut right there that only turns on the of course, leg. And that's it. You can't bend the knees. You can't turn the shoes. And you can move the waist. That's about it. But she's stuck in this pose. Yes, you can take the sword out, but she's stuck in this pose. That is all you can do with her. And you can turn the head, but if you turn the head too much, you'll mess up the hair, right? Because it's Michonne. So I was pretty mad. I was gonna return this because I didn't really care about it. And then I was like, dude, I'm not buying another one of these. But then I was like, but what else do I buy for Walking Dead? Like, how do I expand my collection here? And that's what I still go with, because really, these things are ridiculous. First of all, in Canada, so I'll grab the box for my opened version of Daryl, and I guess I'll grab the Travis box too. So here's the Daryl, right? And basically, at my local comic book shop, I get him. That's the price right there. $29.99 plus tax here in Canada. So about $35 for this Daryl. And here it is in a box. That Michonne is inboxed. I actually have one out of boxed. Oh no, it's down over there because I took all my Color Tots figures down to do this video. But yeah, I have that one's an inboxed Michonne. So pretty cool. But there's the Daryl, and he looks really cool, doesn't he? I mean, yeah. But then these bases here, which are ridiculous. I mean, okay, so you have the titles here, which are just cheap. And then you have, it's like a rock kind of base with like a crack in it, just, for design. And you have the peg that you stick there's a hole in the foot there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Right there. Right? And you stick it right here. And then, he stays on. Because these guys can't stand without these stands. Some of them can, like this Daryl can. I could put him on the shelf. He'd stand for days without falling. Maybe eventually he'd fall, because you kind of need these. But the Michonne, she can't stand, because the position she's in. And then Travis, there's his box. And it's just like, compared to, like, these really articulated figures that, like, even, like, just people that want to pose their figures in like cool poses, right? If you want to pose Rick like this and you want to change his pose or whatever to him pointing the gun and him like doing this, like that, like you can do that, and you can set him up on your shelf like that. You can put him in any pose, and you can even have him with the gun like that. Kind of ready to go type of deal. You can even, this is a weird part, this is when it gets weird, but you can even have him do splits, which is just awesome. And when it comes to these, you can't get that with these. You just can't. Here's the Travis. You can't get that with these figures. They're not even close. And Walking Dead doesn't even have its own figure line anymore. Because the main reason is because there are, I guess I could just show you the back of one of these figures. There goes the stand. It's ridiculous. I don't even care to pick it up. But there's the Travis, right? And it's 1 of 8, and they're numbered, right? And it's 1 of the set of 8. And it's right here. It says number 3. So they're all numbered right here. So and the only stupid thing is because they're mixing lines and different TV shows in these color tops. They're mixing in Assassin's Creed. They're mixing in Fear, Walking Dead, Spawn. I'm just like, dude, what is going on here? and they're mixing it up. So Walking Dead doesn't even have its own figure line anymore. So that's ridiculous. And now they're still releasing these. Lately, they've released like 2 or 3, but I haven't seen any other ones coming out here. Like, there's a Negan coming out, which that one's cool. I am going to pick him up. But there's like only like probably about, usually because before there was like a couple lines, couple waves, a year, and there were like 6 or 7 figures in a wave. Now they're cutting it back to like 3 figures of these a year. Like, that's like the most, maybe 4 if we're lucky to get that many. It's just ridiculous. And it's like, compared to what we used to get, this is downgrading. Maybe the detail is better. Yeah, maybe the detail is better on the face and the whole outfit. And maybe these look better maybe on like shelves. I would say the detail is better. But the articulation, you can't get anything out of these. And then the other thing is that, look at this Travis, right? Wait. Look at this Rick. You can turn his head and everything's fine. Nothing wrong with his neck at all. Like a regular human being, right? Now I'm getting a little crazy, and I'm just trying to show you guys an example. And then this one, you turn his head. What the heck is that? Like, seriously, what is the point? And then you turn his head, you still get the same stupid thing in his neck. And it's like this big, like turkey in his neck or something. I don't even understand what these are. These are just cheap. Like, well, they're not cheap. They're pretty expensive, to be honest with you. That's why I only picked up like 4 of them. Well, only 3 of them really. I haven't picked up the Rick because I'm not even interested. I haven't picked up. There's a Madison too from Fear, and yeah, they released the Fear ones too. There's a Madison. I didn't pick her up either. There's an Abraham, which the Abraham looks good. If I was gonna get one more, I'd get him. There's a Carl that came out with the Guts poncho. There's a Negan coming out. That one I'm gonna have to make a consideration. I have to get that Negan. But aside from that, I don't really care about these. I don't care about getting all of them. Because personally, these guys, they go on a shelf and they just collect dust. Because you can't get this articulation that you get with these. You just can't do it, man. And it's pretty a shame because, and also, we used to get Walking Dead walkers. Like, you can see the Bungie gets walker there. Sick figure. I always loved that figure right there. I always like having that in the display. There's one with like weapons in him called the Pincushion Zombie. I have him up there. And it's like, dude, I don't know if you can see him. I think he's in the back there. But it's like, now they don't even release zombies either. Walkers, sorry. They don't even release walkers anymore. They just release the humans now. And I'm like what? Like, you used to make all these walker figures for dioramas for characters to, maybe a diorama of like Rick, and he's like ready to cut up a zombie with maybe that hatchet he has or something. No, you can't even do that. You can't even do that anymore. You have to use the old zombies. And some of them are going up in price now because the line is getting canceled, so they're getting more valuable now. And, now if you haven't gotten the zombies now, you're going to have a hard time getting them. Unless you find them at retail for a store or something, if they get an older figure in store, which rarely happens. So, it's like, I don't even care about these. These are just junk, in my opinion. If you want to buy them, if you're into statues that don't, they replaced those articulated figures for these. That's not called replacing, like, articulated figures. These are not articulated figures. McFarlane, please go back to the 5-inch figures. Because fans were saying, oh, well, the figures are too small. You know what? I would honestly, even though we've collected tons of the 5-inch and I'm kind of mad, I would be okay if you released, these with articulation. I would be a little happier. Anyway, that's my rant because I don't want to go further on, than that. But, like, these boxes, too, they're, like, they have a different color every wave. And I'm like, I don't even get these anymore. Anyway, if you want to get them, go get them. Anyway, that's just my rant. I need to talk about it because I've only bought a few, and I already hate these figures. So, anyway, I don't know how many more I'm going to get. Definitely the Negan, but aside from him, I'm not really sure. Anyway, if you liked the video, please comment below, and I'll see you guys really soon. Peace, guys.